I tell y'all, stop going down by that beach.
You! Get inside the house!
I am so disappointed. I am tired being embarrassed by you.
Yo, what are you... Yo,
Get off of me, man.
Yo, bro, what?
I'm done.
What do you mean you're done? Is he done doing what? Come and carry you home and then you get yourself cleaned up. Oh, Lord.
Hey, what's going on? My name's Daniel Boyce. I'm a writer and director. And I've been doing it professionally for the past 3 to 4 years. But I've been doing it all my life. You know, my mom used to force me to write essays. If I wanted to go outside and play football or cricket or ride my bike or whatever, I had to write an essay. And I remember, like, I hated it, you know? I absolutely hated writing back then, but mad love to my mom. I give thanks to my mom for forcing me to do that, because it's been able to allow me to craft a career around, you know, something I did as a child, and I've got a ton of experience from doing. I've shot a video for Mariah Carey in LA. I've curated projects for like Panama Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week. I was on production for Michelle's big event in Cancun. That was last year in May. I would have been on that production team. I've shot stuff right in Orange Hill for the NBA and Western Union and the Denver Nuggets. I've shot campaigns for Perry Ellis, Vogue Italia, and movies. I mean, who hasn't worked on Outer Banks in the industry in Barbados? And most recently, I've written and produced my own film surrounding my childhood and showing where I grew up. I want to give a huge shout out to Senator John King, Sir Trevor Carmichael, and the Carla Applewave, because they vetted the project, they believed in the project, and even though my movie was a little past the deadline, they gave me a grace period, you know, to be able to show what me and all the other artists, the actors and what's not, you know, put into it, and we were able to show Barbados what we did. And the movie is about child abuse, which you know, is kind of a heavy topic. And the reason why I wrote about that is because I feel like we're seeing a little uptick in violence, you know, amongst our youth. And I feel like it's easy to say, well, you know, the youth need to do this, the youth need to do that, whatever. But I feel like we as parents need to take a little blame in that too, you know. I grew up with, you know, Spirit of Rod, Spoil the Child, as I'm sure many of you did too. But I feel like, how can we expect to raise a generation of children that are patient, kind, communicate, when we as parents, we don't offer them that same respect, you know? So that's what the film's about. So as opposed to showing what I would say the traditional approach, you show a troubled youth going on the block, and, you know, the film takes a completely different trajectory. I don't want to ruin it. It's kind of touching, it's painful, but it's necessary, because I feel like we need to spark that conversation around raising our youth. Initiatives and festivals like the Barbados Film Festival, super important for the artists. Super, super, super important. I'll give you something that happened to me. So I wrote the film in September. We would have produced it, filmed it in November, edited it up in December, and I was kind of looking at like a March kind of to push out. And then I, you know, heard about the Barbados Film Festival. I got encouraged to get the piece ready for the film festival. So that kind of like, you know, sparked a little fire under me. Like, let's get this done now. Got the film finished, submitted it, it got accepted, yada yada yada. Now, what that did for me is I had an opportunity where some producers from Hollywood would have reached out to me about writing, you know, a piece for a movie that'll take place in Oakland, California. And they was able to watch the film that I would have produced for the film festival and brought me onto it. So if I didn't have that, you know, that initiative to kind of get me focused and be like, all right, we need to submit this now, they might have reached out to me and I wouldn't have had too much to show for it, you know. So things like this is really encouraging. It helps, keeps you focused on this, and it feels good too. You know, the fact that I was able to write and direct something, my friends were the sound engineers, the composers, we casted a bunch of Barbadian actors, we're showing off the north, beautiful part of Barbados. So, and to have a festival of that caliber to show off your hard work, what more can you want? I'm actually starting rehearsals for my next film called The Herd on Friday. That's going to be a short film, and that's touching on the negatives of social media. So the whole premise around that is the protagonist exists in a world where people no longer talk. And I've got a feature film I'm going to start working on later in the year called A Negro's Love Story. And that one's going to be sick. That one's gonna be real good. That one's touching on another heavy topic, sexual abuse, but then it's also a love story too, because I want to highlight some of the tragedies that occur within Black love. I want to show a Caribbean love story that shows some of the tragedies that we as Black people experience within relationships and loves. So that's going to be a Negro's love story, and yeah, like I said, end of the year I'm going to start production on that. I cannot touch on it too much, but I got an opportunity to write a script for a Hollywood production that's going to be taking place in Oakland, California. I give thanks that I'll be the one writing it. Hopefully directing it too. That one's not sealed, but I'm definitely going to be the one writing it. What advice would I give to filmmakers looking to find an outlet to display their work? I would say personally, don't focus too much on Instagram. Believe it or not, throughout the length of my career, I've probably got one booking off of Instagram. So instead of waiting for someone to give you the opportunity, create it yourself, right? So I was like, all right, cool. You know what? I'm going to write and produce a film, right? And I'm going to take that film and enter that film throughout film festivals, throughout the US, throughout Europe. The film's going to South by Southwest. 400,000 people are going to see this film. So if you're finding issues if you're not finding opportunities coming to you, do your best and create them. You know, you cannot just wait on someone to give you the handout. Go and get it. You know what I mean? If you're having troubles with the equipment, shoot it on your phone. Everyone's got a phone with a camera now. And if for some reason you don't have a phone with a camera, I'm sure you know someone that has a phone with a camera. Like, don't wait on anyone to give it to you. Go and get it. You know what I mean?
I tell y'all, stop going down by that beach.
You, get inside the house. I said to get inside. Get inside the house.